Alrighty folks, Captain Walton here with you once again. It has been about a week since I've done a video or so. Today we are actually on X-Plane 10, 10.45, and we are using the recently purchased Rotate MD-80. I love this plane. I'm in love with this plane, and I'm really starting to like X-Plane 10 more and more. For those of you that know me, I've been using Flight Sim for, well, I guess it's been about 15 years now. So I've been pretty attached to the Microsoft Flight Simulator series. But the more and more I've been using X-Plane, the more and more I have really been just enjoying what it has to offer over the Microsoft Flight Sim series. And Microsoft has done a very good job with the Flight Sim series over the years, but we all know, for those of us that use it, it's lacking. It really is lacking in quality, in honesty, in my opinion, realism. You know, the flight dynamics are not real. It flies and feels a little bit more of an arcade style game, which I really think it is. The more and more I've really researched into it, or thought about it, not really researched, but thought about it. X-Plane 10, on the other hand, the flight dynamics I find to be a lot more accurate, a lot more realistic. And to be honest, I'm just a little bit more of a fan of it. So anyways, as you can see, this is a very nice modeled aircraft. It actually comes with 4K textures, which is very nice for an aircraft add-on, but massive frame rate hit. I use a 4GB GTX 970 from Nvidia, the 100 millionth edition. The green one is pretty cool. And it's been able to handle pretty much everything I've thrown at it, but 4K texture aircraft, obviously, and this is the only one I've ever owned that I can recall. So I had to actually download a separate package that they offer, a texture package that's 2K instead of 4K. So, because I was getting very, very low frames with the 4K, and I had to reduce down to like medium graphics on X-Plane. It just looked horrible. So now I'm getting really good frames with the 2K, and was able to crank my graphics back up with X-Plane. So, anyways, we're flying out of San Francisco. We're going down to San Diego. As you see, the sun's setting. So I'd like to get airborne before it gets completely dark. So I'm going to do old school here, and we're going to push back from the gate, but we're going to use reverse thrust to do it. So I'm going to release the parking brakes here, and we are going to engage the reverse thrust.
Stabilizer.
Just a bit. See how far that brought us back. See if that'll roll us back enough. No.
Stabilizer.
Alright. Press the brakes there and see. Are we clear? Yeah, I think we're good. Alright. What we're gonna do here...
Stabilizer.
No, I didn't do it either. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Okay. Let's taxi on out here. One thing I'm having an issue with is the landing lights and taxi lights on this aircraft do not work. I don't know what it is. I cannot figure it out. Dome lights either. So I'm going to have to look on their website. Oh, holy crap. Excuse me. Don't want to hit that aircraft. So I'm going to have to look on their website and see if I can come up with a fix or a solution for that. A lot of MD-80s here. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Some United 7.4s there. Let's go to the outside view real quick, and I'll give you an outside shot of what this beautiful bird looks like. Just a stunning, stunning model aircraft, payware. The aircraft, get this, I was ticked off about this. Bought it for $60 or $59.95, something like that, and today it went on sale for $40 or $45. I'm sorry, yeah, $45 is $15 off, $45.95, something like that. Anyways, I about threw my computer out the window because it seems to always happen to me. Maybe not always, but it happens enough to irritate you a little bit. Anyways, the runway's over there off to our left there. We're taking off one right. And let's see some taillights from some vehicle traffic there. We are in San Francisco, like I said, heading down to San Diego. Flight time should be just about 55 minutes in the air. I absolutely love this aircraft though. Just, it flies good, handles good, decent sound package. I kind of missed the distinctive buzzsaw that the MD-80 offers from the cabin, but if I could figure out how to port over FSX sound packs, I would definitely use the freeware one, or even the payware one that I have in it. Alright, let's see. We're looking for 134 knots, I believe, is rotation today. It's not too shabby. Probably should have offloaded that center tank fuel. I don't think we would need that. I think the little over 8,000, almost 9,000 pounds, or a little over 9,000, almost 10,000 pounds of fuel that we have is more than enough to get us down to San Diego. We almost have 10,000 center tank on top of that, so alright, let's see what we've got here. What time is it anyways? It's cell phone was ringing there. It's 8:32 in the evening, real world where I live. So alright, coming onto the runway. We don't have any AI traffic running. We're not on VATSIM, so we shouldn't have any AI traffic coming in. If we do, then it'd be an alien. Alright. Line us up on one right for departure. There we are, beautiful. Okay. There we go. We're all set. I've got the landing lights and the nose lights on, but as you can see they're not reflecting or illuminating on the ground, on the runway, but they are showing off the actual front of the aircraft, as you can see, as we spin around here. So, anyways, alright.
Stabilizer.
I should not be getting a stabilizer warning.
Stabilizer. Stabilizer.
Hang on, I should not be getting any stabilizer warning.
Stabilizer.
There we go. Alright. Shut that off, I don't want to run that right now. You have to push the nose down on the MD-80 a little bit because she does want to lift up when she hits a certain airspeed. Alright, there we go. I will rotate the aircraft. Get off the ground there. Beautiful. A little bit of wind, not much, not bad. Gears coming up. Use a little bit of trim here to get her to level out. There we go. Beautiful. Nice and smooth. Just hold a nice 180 knots climbing out of San Francisco here. Very pretty evening. Even though it shows us 56 foot per minute excellent. And that's the only thing that really bothers me about that add-on, is it shows up when you take off, and I don't like that. So, alright, I'm going to drop the nose just a little bit. There we go. Alright, I'm going to remove the yoke here from view because I need to be able to see our radar there, our flight plan. So I'm going to hand flyer out of San Francisco. There we go, we'll decrease the power a little bit and we're going to hand flyer. Just making a beautiful departure out of San Francisco, just wonderful. I'm going to bring the flaps up to 5. When you take off in the MD-80, you can actually use either flaps 11 or 15. Just all depends on you and the weather, as well as the runway if it's wet or dry, as well as your weight and runway length. Last time I flew it I used 15, but today we used 11. Alright, go ahead and bring slats up now. And we are now clean. Alright, nose is raising up just a little bit as those flaps and slats are retracting. It's a beautiful day to fly out here. Still hand flying. Just taking our time, enjoying the scenery. Beautiful hand flying weather. Holding a decent airspeed, about 210 knots. Get up to about 10,000 here. I'll turn the autopilot on. It's too nice to fly with autopilot on. We'll just continue to hand fly. I'm going to increase our speed here a little bit, so we're going to let the nose drop just a little bit. And we'll let the aircraft start to level itself out on its own. We don't want to fly directly over the airport, so we're going to help it level out a little bit. There we go. Use our trim to keep our nose down so we can gain some airspeed. At this above 10,000, we don't want to drop below 220, which is where we're sitting right now, so trim it just a little bit, keep the nose from dropping too much as we let our airspeed climb. View of the Oakland Bay International Airport there on the far left, about 11 o'clock. We'll come down a little bit more on the throttle, get about 90% in one. There we go. Beautiful. Want to drop the nose a little bit more. Alright, beautiful. There we are. Beautiful hand flying. Alrighty, we are going to go ahead and get our autopilot on. VNAV, flight director is on. Let's see, let's do, where the heck is nav at? Oh, right there, nav. Let's see, auto throttle, VNAV. Alright, it's actually wanting to go direct port, which is to the right. Now it's wanting to go left. Alright. There's one slight thing about the MD-80. Whenever you engage the autopilot, the nose wants to drop and it'll start descending. So that's something you never want to do really immediately after rotation, because it's going to drop at least at a 500 foot, maybe a little bit more vertical speed, and if you do it right after, immediately after the gear comes up, you may find yourself in a grounding situation, so to speak. So you don't want to really do that with this aircraft. And I don't know or don't think if that's a real-world feature. I hope not. I've never had the privilege of flying the MD-80, but I do think that common sense would say that's not a real feature of the plane. But to be honest, I guess you never know, right? Alright, let's see. Let's get VNav there so we can continue our climb. There we go. Alrighty folks, well that gives us up to about 16,000 feet in the departure out of San Francisco. Come back and join us here in just a few moments for our landing in San Diego. Captain Walton will see you. Alrighty folks, Captain Walton back here. We are just out of 7,700 feet into San Diego runway 9, which will actually bring us out over the water of San Diego. Noise deviation for the neighborhoods there in San Diego, coming over what would normally be, I believe, 27. So we are going to come into the 9s, bring the speed brake up. We're going to go ahead and arm the speed brakes by pulling them up like so. Landing lights and all that don't seem to illuminate the ground. Don't even know when I'm going to turn them on, but it will, I guess. Got the floodlights on so it lights up the flight deck a little bit, but we need to turn those down so we can see out the window without the reflection a little bit better. Alrighty. Let's see. We'll look for Okay, let's see. When we get to, let's see here. I'm gonna make a left-hand turn at Sarge, and that'll take us into San Diego Airport. Just beyond the window frame there on the left at 11 o'clock, you can see the approach lights there for her runway. They're hidden now. So let's see, we're gonna get down. I've got it set to 500. Let me get us to 1500 instead to be a little bit safer. Okay, I'm gonna reduce our airspeed here. Let's see. Need FMS override. There we go. Gotta press FMS override. That'll allow us to change our airspeed, but stick with the FMS data. Alrighty. Alright, let me pull the flaps, or I mean the spoilers out here about 3/4 of the way, help reduce our airspeed a little bit. Need to get down to about 220 so we can get the flaps out. San Diego coming into view there. 11 o'clock. See the approach lights in the runway. Alright, we are on the descent glide path, and we should be making a left-hand turn momentarily here. Alright. Alright, landing gear's coming off. The autopilot's going to come off. I'm going to turn the speed brakes off, but we are going to arm them. Flaps 11, actually, let's see, we'll probably go 15. We've passed the airport, so a little bit of a deviation here, not by too much. Continue our descent. Yeah, flaps are at 15, that's good. Need to get a little airspeed here, dropping a little too low. Beautiful. Beautiful lights out there as we approach San Diego. About 142 knots, that's pretty good for approach. (2,000 feet). Alright, passing over Gatto. You see the vehicle headlights and brake lights out there moving around along the roads. (1,500 feet). Hand flying beautifully. She's definitely a joy to hand fly, that's for sure. You know the old saying, mishandle the mad dog, she'll bite you back. Well, that is somewhat true. Alright, we'll go full flaps at this point. Add a little bit of airspeed. So we're coming over the water for noise deviation. Some noise abatement procedures, but doesn't make a whole lot of sense because we still pass over buildings coming in here. It's just not quite as much, I suppose. The heck are you hollering about altitude for? Alright. She's definitely looking good. Make a nice steady approach. Now what we're going to do is we're going to back off the power just a little bit and let her nestle down. You don't want to drop the nose or force her down. You want to let her nestle down by herself, just with the airspeed deviation. Some people think to drop the nose and race it down to the runway. No, you use your speed for your descent on your approach. You don't use the actual yoke per se. Let your speed control your descent. Come over the road here just before the runway. Pass right over a car, look at that. 130 knots hard. Oh crap, birds. This is a very rough landing, but I was trying to get below those birds. I don't know if you've seen them on the approach there. They were flying up in front of the runway lights there, so I did not want to hit no birds, that's for sure. There's 60 knots. Let the reversers out. When I put this video together in the video editor, I'm going to try to point out where the birds were so you'll be able to see them in case you missed them. Alright, let's go ahead and bring the spoilers on up there. Flaps can go ahead and come on up now. It's one of those landings that would have made the passengers jump a little bit, but I didn't. I had a bird strike yesterday in this plane when I was taking off out of Reno, Nevada, and they hit right as the nose gear was coming off the ground, and we didn't get the main gear off the ground, but maybe just for a couple of seconds before we had to put it back down and come to a stop with just several hundred feet to spare on the runway. It wasn't a pretty sight. So when I seen that flock of birds taking off over the runway, it definitely reminded me of yesterday, and I just wanted to get the plane down to try to avoid them. So anyways, it wasn't a bad landing, negative 322 I believe it said. That's not bad. That's at times average. Your average really is between 1 and 200 negative, but 322 is not horrible. It's just very firm. Alright. I definitely want to look into seeing why these landing lights are not functioning properly. That is driving me nuts. Because I don't like having it so dark on the runway, or on the taxiway like this, and when I'm coming in over a runway I can't see if there's power lines. Because the next plane there actually is power lines and stuff you have to watch out for. So that does make me a little nervous, especially flying low over the threshold of the runway like that. I don't want to hit some power lines and then end up doing a European belly flop into the runway. So wouldn't be pretty. Alright, well, we're just going to come to a parking here. There we are. Alright. Beautiful. Pull the parking brakes up there. Turn the floodlights on. That gives us a little bit of a better view inside, and shut the engines down. Whoops. Oh, I guess it would have helped if I would have actually gave it ground power, huh? Alright. Anyways, that does it for this trip. This is Captain Walton. It's been a fun trip. I look forward next time. Next time we'll be in the either the IXEG 737-300 Classic or maybe the JAR Designs A330-200. So, anyways, we'll see you next time. This is Captain Walton. God bless you. God bless the United States of America, and we will see you next time on the flight deck with Captain Walton.